Alright, what's going on? Some more bracketology. I'm going to break down the south region of the bracket. I've filled out 5 brackets now. Um, Trying to figure out which one I want as my actual final one, but it's so hard. There's couple, I feel it's like some brackets you want to go one way, but then you need to go another one just to cover it. And then you can't do it once, you can't do it only once because then if, one thing that you have on one bracket goes far and then on the other goes far, and then it's like I tried to balance it out and um, make a couple different routes and different options and stayed consistent on certain ones that I thought for sure. But anyway, I'm gonna break down the South region. Some early round in the South, early round games that people like: VCU, SF Austin. A lot of people look for that 12-5 upset. I don't see it happening. I think SF Austin's 31-2 on a 28 game win streak, but I don't think they've seen anyone like VCU. VCU is a different kind of breed. I think VCU wins that game. Uh, Another first round game, people are talking Ohio State, Dayton, battle of two Ohio teams. I People like to say Dayton's gonna win that. I just think Ohio State and Aaron Kraft and the senior leadership. I like Ohio State in that game to win. Just think they're bigger and stronger. Um, one other first round game, New Mexico Stanford. You never know that those Pac-12 team. There's always a dangerous one who can make some noise. I think New Mexico is one of the best teams in this field. I think they got a shitty seeding at number 7. Um, they just won the Mountain West Championship. Beat San Diego State twice, who's a top 10 team. 27-6, beat Cincinnati. They got some great wins. So that being the case, I think they'll beat Stanford. I think New Mexico could make some moves too. Now let's move to the second round. If New Mexico and Kansas get matched up, I think Joel Embiid being out, if he's out, that's going to be really hurt them against New Mexico because New Mexico, you need size because they're going to beat you up down low with Alex Kirk, averages 14 and 9 a game. That's their center, junior. The senior, Cameron Barstow, their leading scorer, is a power forward, averaging 20 and 7. He's on basically the most improved player in the nation this year. Wasn't even their third. He was their third leading scorer, or third or fourth. I think he was their fourth leading scorer last year. Now he's their first leading scorer, and they returned their other two guys who were the leading scorers, Alex Kirk and Kendall Williams, the point guard, averaging 16 points, 5 assists. Um, but Kirk and Barstow without Embiid, I think Kansas still has athletes. I still think they make that a game. But I think New Mexico can knock off Kansas and wouldn't be surprised. A lot of my brackets, 3 of the 5, I think I have New Mexico beating Kansas. Um, what else? Second round, OSU versus Syracuse. If that matchup happens there, um, honestly, the way Syracuse has played down the stretch, I really like OSU. I think, I like Aaron Kraft, a senior year. I think he's gonna. I think Syracuse, they just can't score that much. That works well for OSU. OSU is not the best scoring team either, but I think they can grind out Syracuse. I like OSU, so I like OSU to match up with New Mexico in the Sweet 16. To be completely honest, but wouldn't be surprised if it's Kansas and OSU or Kansas Syracuse. Um, that Pitt Florida I got in the second round, or really that's considered round 3. Pitt Florida. I think Florida wins that game, but watch Pitt. Pitt's gonna give them a scare. I think it could be a game that's very close. VCU UCLA second round or third round, sorry, round of 32. I think VCU UCLA is a great game. Shaka Smart's great. I love him. I just think this UCLA team is on fire. I think they're clicking in all cylinders. I think they're playing the best ball at the right time. They're peaking. Ran through the Pac-12 tournament. Um, Not only did they run through it, they beat Oregon by 20, beat Stanford by 25, and beat Arizona. Oregon, who's a 7 seed, Stanford, who's a 10 seed, Zona, who's a 1 seed. Ran through them all in 3 days and beat them up handedly. Had double-digit leads on all 3 of them. Um, I think UCLA I think they have a player named Kyle Anderson, averages 15 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists a game. Those numbers are unheard of in college basketball. Those are close to triple double numbers: 15, 9, and 7. Those are big O Oscar Robertson numbers. I think Kyle Anderson, ready for this? Kyle Anderson has a Michael Carter Williams tournament run. Michael Carter Williams is the point guard for Syracuse last year, who's now for the point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, going to run Rookie of the Year. a tall, lengthy point guard. Carter Williams is 6'7". Kyle Anderson 6'9". Not only that, Carter Williams didn't have the help around him that I think Syracuse has. I mean, sorry, that UCLA has. With Adams leading scorer out of Oak Hill Academy, averaging 17 points a game. I think Adams is going to be deadly. The brothers up front, the seniors. I'm drawing a blank on their name right now. I think they have six All-American freshman All-Americans. I'm sorry, six McDonald All-Americans. UCLA. UCLA is dangerous. I think if UCLA meets up with Florida in that Sweet 16 matchup, I think UCLA wins that game. I really think UCLA, the way they're playing, Steve Alford had a great first year there, coming over from New Mexico, leading UCLA 26-8, making it back on the saddle. I honestly think UCLA takes this. I think UCLA, if they get past VCU and if they can get past Florida, watch out for UCLA. I think UCLA could make a Final Four run this year. They got that kind of team. I mean, they just beat Arizona, the #1 seed up in the West region. So UCLA is hot right now. And like I said, and they ran through Oregon by 20, 82-63. Stanford 84-59, and then beat Zona 75-71. And they had a double-digit lead on Zona at one point. I mean, that's impressive. I love Steve Alford. The job he's done has been great. Um, so I think UCLA, honestly, I like UCLA, New Mexico right there in the Elite Eight. Um, that's my honest opinion, UCLA, New Mexico. After that, I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it at my Elite Eights for all of them. But right now, I think my final Elite Eight for this is UCLA, New Mexico. Um, the South, if I had to say, um, two players to watch out for that region, I'm going to say watch out for Kyle Anderson for UCLA. And I'm going to say watch out for Kendall Williams for New Mexico. Kyle Anderson for UCLA, Kendall Williams for New Mexico. All right, peace, cheers, good luck.